Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Link Live. My name is Marina Mayer, Editor-in-Chief of Food Logistics and Supply and Demand Chain Executive, and I'm here with my lovely ladies crew. Do you want to go around and introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Brielle Jekyll. I'm the Associate Editor.
I am McKenna Morales, and I am the assistant editor.
And today we are talking top industry trends, everything from cold chain technology and data to last mile logistics woes to cryptocurrency in the supply chain. I mean, it's getting hot in the cold chain here. So I know that was a very long joke. Had a lot of caffeine this morning. I had to just slip that in there. Before we dive into our discussion, we just have a couple of housekeeping items. Nominations for Food Logistics Top Green Providers Award are open. Submissions close March 21st, so please get those nominations in. I know, thank you to those of you who have already submitted. They're looking great so far, so we're very excited. Registration is still open for next week's SCN Summit Sustainability Sessions. We have industry experts from Blue Yonder and Association for Supply Chain Management on the speaker panel. So stay tuned for more information on that, but also go to the registration link that I'll provide in the chat, and you can register for one, two, or all of the sessions. So let's talk hot industry trends in the cold chain. I know that I'll kick it off with cryptocurrency because I have a blog on secexec.com that's live this morning that talks about cryptocurrency in the supply chain. And cryptocurrency is huge right now with everything going on with the stock market. But what I was learning as I was kind of researching and doing some stuff is that, you know, in the trucking industry, especially with things like blockchain, it is becoming more prevalent. And I piggybacked onto an article that Brielle wrote earlier this year that discusses the future of cryptocurrency in the supply chain. So it's super interesting. So make sure you go to secexec.com to learn more about it. But in a nutshell, more companies are kind of diving into it as a means of an alternative means of currency, especially post-pandemic. So kind of interested to hear thoughts from, you know, internally with the crew that's on with me now, but as well as those that are watching, you know, make sure you chat and kind of provide some additional information. But I know we've been talking about statistics as well. And Brielle, you're kind of like our data queen. You always have statistics and data up your sleeve. So I want to kind of toss it over to you to see what kind of things you want to add to the conversation.
Oh, I just know that I'm really interested in Dogecoin. I think that's a fun
Yeah.
thing. I don't have any statistics per se on actual um, um, how blockchain is being incorporated into the supply chain, but I do know that yeah, a lot of people are incorporating it as a way to make payments and stuff like that. Every day on the wires, I see someone announcing a new cryptocurrency that they're willing to accept. So I think it's really interesting to see where it's going to go.
And it's funny because I wrote about it, but like Elon Musk, he's urging those Dogecoin owners to sell their holdings. And I feel like anytime Elon Musk talks, everybody listens.
Yeah.
So it'll be
Not
kind
what I
of
thought you were going to
interesting.
say.
What'd you say?
It's not what I thought you were going to say, but okay.
Oh, I don't have a good joke for that. I'm sorry. But like it's just interesting to see how this is just over like almost overnight, just kind of compounded into. I mean, look at Bitcoin. I mean, it's amazing to me how much it has grown, and um, it's just crazy to see how this will impact, you know, the trucking industry, the supply chain overall, especially you know as we try to appease supply chain disruptions. So that's my little technology trend that I wanted to bring to the table. Brielle, I'll pass things on over to you to see what you have to add.
So I think the number one technology, like the top trend throughout all of the supply chain, is definitely analytics and data. It's becoming so intricate. It's super exciting to see, but the biggest thing is that it's a problem solver. And I mean, people in the industry are using it from everything from route optimization to warehousing optimization to, you know, assessing the risks, trying to figure out consumer trends. And that's really, I think, the number one technology trend that we'll be seeing throughout the future and throughout the year in terms of the supply chain.
I think that's interesting. And I know that, you know, we publish a lot of market research reports on foodlogistics.com, sdcexec.com. And it's just interesting to see how many of those things have changed, even just pre-pandemic to post-pandemic, and how things have just skyrocketed and how e-commerce has just kind of blown up. So that's kind of interesting. McKenna, I know if you go to sdcexec.com, you'll read McKenna's blog from last week, because McKenna has had some interesting luck, I guess you could say, with the last mile, which Brielle also posted something similar on foodlogistics.com with the strawberry order, which I found hilarious because you'll have to read it, but I can't even imagine with the people receiving 3 different shipments of strawberries that they did not order.
Probably their best day. I mean, they didn't say anything. They expected 3 different baskets of chocolate covered strawberries, so they obviously thought they won the lottery.
I mean, best day ever, right, man? Holy cow. But McKenna, on the other hand, receives packages with nothing in them, which is the complete opposite. So
I've just like been getting the when it comes to packages. Like every message Marina and Brielle at like 9 o'clock at night and be like, you'll never believe what just happened to me. And I'll send like a package that is like completely wrecked, or there is one that was completely shattered. One time Target sent me 2 Christmas trees. Like a 500 square foot apartment, so I didn't need 2 Christmas trees.
The sweatshirt.
yeah,
I forgot to put that in the blog. So, sorry.
yeah, that was a funny day too. It was like, huh?
Yeah.
The story is that Marina messaged us saying that she was sending us gifts in the mail, and I just happened to get a package in the mail of a sweater that says Jesus is King. And I was like, Marina, this doesn't seem very work appropriate, but somehow an Etsy store sent it to me on accident, and I contacted the Etsy store and they were like very insistent that it wasn't their product, that they didn't send it to me, but like the shipping label said that it was from them. And I don't know what to do with it, but I have it still. But
I mean, yeah, what are you gonna, I mean, I don't know.
The real kicker though was that I'll put them on blast, I don't care. Amazon sent me a completely empty package the other day. And and at first I like walked up to my fiance and I was like, if you're gonna open my mail, can you at least tell me where you put the stuff that's in it? And he's like, I didn't open your mail.
I mean, an empty package, I can't even imagine. Like,
I know. And it was completely unsealed. It was basically just like the bag that they put it in. And I, like any other Zillennial, complained on Twitter. And their customer service responded to me and they asked me who the shipping provider was. And that wasn't like a shipping accident. That is definitely a warehousing mistake. You didn't seal.
I saw that and I was so mad for you. I was like, don't blame this on the shipper. This is you.
There's quality control measures that they have to take before that product leaves the facility. So clearly somebody didn't check the bag before they sealed it and put it on the truck.
And I wonder if if there needs to be like an extra step in between, if like the shippers have to like do their own quality control too.
I mean, when you felt the bag, I mean, it's pretty obvious that you can feel there's nothing in it, unless you're ordering something super light.
It was sheet masks, like a face mask package. So it's like,
I need to see these masks.
So like thin paper. Well, for like a facial mask.
Oh, I gotcha. I was thinking, okay, gotcha.
So it's like paper. People would not.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. Yeah, because it's so thin. So what's funny about this is that you received nothing, and then in Brielle's article, those people received 3 different shipments that they didn't even order. So that unlike yours, McKenna, that actually was the driver's responsibility, wasn't it? He kept going to the wrong place.
Yeah, well, the driver was confused because it's an apartment complex, I guess, and he kept going to another building. So he kept going to what he thought was their apartment in the wrong building and just kept delivering it. But then the people kept accepting it. And apparently, because somebody called the building and was like, or the trucking company. And apparently the people were like, yes, that's thank you, just leave it there, but like didn't open the door. They were just like, I guess because of coronavirus, but they were like, thank you, goodbye every time. So they accepted the order, the like full on knowing it was not there.
I would just be curious to see like what they're doing on social media. Like, okay,
Who is sending
who
me
is
this?
sending this to us?
Right?
The joke's on me. Like, I get it. You
That's
know,
how I felt with the Jesus is King sweater. I was like, who sent me this?
I definitely did
I
not
think-
do that, but that was.
I have a theory. I think I know what happened with that sweater.
Let's hear it.
So a while ago, Etsy, a couple years ago, Etsy changed their policy that you can work with third-party vendors and you don't have to actually hand make products yourself. So most Etsy, I don't want to say most, but a lot of Etsy stores work with a supplier, so you can design the product and like make your own design on like a graphic design website, and then pick a product from one of these vendors' website and design your design onto the product, but then they handle all the shipping and everything. So it'll connect to your Etsy store. And as soon as somebody buys a product from your Etsy store, that vendor will just automatically do everything. And so I think that they got two Etsy shops messed up and sent you a product that they were supposed to. So it wasn't the Etsy seller, it was their vendor.
That could be true. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense considering the situation.
Because
otherwise it doesn't
Jesus
make
is King
sense.
sweater.
How would you get a product from that store that they don't make, but
Right.
the shipping return says their name? That doesn't make any sense. They have to be using a vendor.
Mhm.
And obviously they got it confused because, I mean, how else would they get your home delivery address? You know,
Yeah.
that was another kicker. It was like somebody obviously knows where you live. So if it's somebody intentionally sending it to you, then they know your address. Otherwise,
Right. And it's like, I'm not a very religious person, which is why I found that sweater to be so funny. But
and the fact that you thought it was coming from me was even more funny. I was like, no, that's not my gift. It says it'll ship in like a day, but that's not it.
But so if anybody wants a sweater, hit me up. I'll send it to you.
I just think the whole thing is funny because you keep having all these instances where things go wrong, but they're not the same things that go wrong. They're different things that go wrong.
Oh my God. Yeah. And then I ordered something from a company and I paid the $8 for next day shipping.
Well, yeah, this is bad.
I paid and it didn't ship until 4 days later. And I understand that like the pandemic is happening and things are going to be delayed. However, I paid the $8.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the main thing throughout this is just being, I mean, I've had so many podcasts, everyone on the news has been saying it, every expert has been saying it, and I thought we kind of hit an area where like that was happening, where you just need to be transparent and not take people's money if you can't deliver within a certain time frame. You just need to know what's going on within your own business. And I thought it seemed like we had reached like, okay, we all understand that this is a pandemic, so things are taking a long time. You just need to like say, hey, this is going to take 12 days instead of, 5 or 3. But then
Take
I guess
those options off your website.
Yeah.
That's what H&M actually does that during the holiday season because they offer like the 2-day shipping and shipping. They'll take it off during the busy times. So like you're stuck with the standard shipping. And I think that's fine.
Yeah. Just don't like trick me.
Right. Because you know what you're getting going in. You're not like, oh, cool, I get it in a day. And then it's 7 days later and it's wrong or it's broken or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Then you're even more upset because we were kind of misled to believe that it was coming sooner. I mean, that's how it is with any stuff. I mean, I don't care that it's going to take a couple of days. I get it. Just let me know. so that I know not to expect it. Or, I mean, and the mail itself, I mean, I know our mail is so slow and everybody's so behind with stuff. We just got like a friend's Christmas card like the other day. It's like mid-February and we just got it. And I just find it so funny because that's just how the mail is. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't, you know, huh?
Did you hear that?
No. What are we hearing? What
There
happened?
was like a crazy noise going on in this office.
No, I didn't hear it. I just hear the snow still continuing to fall in Illinois.
There's like a giant pipe over my head, so.
Let's hope it stays there and doesn't.
Yeah, I heard all the pipes are cracking in Texas.
Yeah, they say to
So-
keep your pipe, your like water dripping or whatever.
Right. Meanwhile, it's 60 degrees here in New Jersey.
I don't even want to hear about it. I was so jealous you were going to get a thunderstorm, and I'm like, can't even open up the door to my deck because I'm buried in snow. And
It's literally lasting one day. It's like one spring day, and then tomorrow it's going to be 30 and snowy. So
I'll
Well,
take
it's
it though.
-7 in Wisconsin, so I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I mean,
But I just want to say, so we're coming up on a year anniversary of when we started Link Live, and that, well, I guess we had our mini like start episode, and then we had like our first like official episode. And McKenna, you talked about your shipping
Yes.
problems with this.
It's been a year. It's been a
With
whole
the
year.
soaps. Yeah, and it's been a year and you just keep having these problems, and I just think it's so funny. It's like 2020 trend is McKenna having these shipping problems. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and I think like I touch about that in the blog too, that the pandemic really like threw people through a loop when it came to shipping, because like even at the start, like Amazon wouldn't ship anything but essential goods
mhm.
like the first 2 weeks or something like that, and people are still trying to adjust to this new e-commerce boom. Like we've already had one, but just in the time of COVID, there's been like 3 to 10 years worth of innovation in just like 6 months or something like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
logistics companies just can't keep up right now. And there's already this massive driver shortage. And I know that the economy is starting to like slowly turn around, but e-commerce is only going to continue to rise. And with the lack of drivers, wait times are only going to get longer. Unless they open up more micro fulfillment
I was
centers.
gonna say the micro fulfillment centers are starting. I know that I know we talked about this before, but like one of the malls that's by us that's been around for years, they're taking half of it and they're turning it into a micro fulfillment center for all the local places, like all the retailers nearby, because nobody's going to the malls that much anymore. And I don't even know if those, when those contracts are up, those companies are pulling out. They're like, I'm not gonna be here anymore. It's a waste of rent if nobody's gonna come. So definitely micro fulfillment centers are on the rise. And I think, I'm putting together our cover story for our March issue of Food Logistics, and it's on mitigating supply chain disruptions. And pretty much everybody that I talk to has said, and this is the scary part, because these are industry experts who are in it more day to day than we will ever be. And they have said, these disruptions are not over. We're just hitting the tip of the iceberg, because now anything can be a disruption. It doesn't have to necessarily be a pandemic. It can be a natural disaster. It can be something like, look at the nation now. Half of it's under ice and snow. And some of those states don't even know how to handle that,
They don't have the infrastructure.
They don't have the infrastructure. They're just not equipped with that. Here in the Midwest, we're like, oh, okay, I just won't get the mail today, but I mean, it's, and I think that I know we all talk about how, post-pandemic, whatever that looks like, we don't know. But I mean, let's say we do reach a post-pandemic, so to speak, those disruptions are going to continue to come. And that to me, it can be a little concerning, because then it continues to impact things like the driver shortage. It continues to impact the e-commerce. It continues to impact the economy and how we recover. Because now we have to continuously be doing it. It's a constant fire drill. So everybody look out for that in our March issue of Food Logistics. But that to me was eye-opening. So we'll see what comes of it. So anything else, trends, technology, anybody watching, make sure you go to foodlogistics.com and sdcexec.com because we're constantly publishing stuff about news, new products, new research centers, anything that's regarding professional development, anything regarding new warehousing and distribution, more food safety focus on food logistics. Obviously, we have Brielle's pharmaceutical supply chain article coming up in March Digital and SDC's March Digital Edition. That's our State of the Pharma Supply Chain article, and it could not come at a better time, actually, because we planned that like last July and had no idea COVID vaccine was going to be distributed. Speaking of, I think my parents may be getting it soon because they just opened a vaccination center in our county down the street, and so they're in that age group, but we'll see. They've been checking every day, and I don't know. But today they closed all the facilities because of the weather. So win some, you lose some. So who knows, but we'll see. So yeah, just make sure you head to foodlogistics.com, sdcexec.com. Make sure you read our blog posts, check out videos. I know we have Unboxing the Last Mile, which McKenna and Brielle do, and they kind of talk about some of their last mile challenges and opportunities that they deal with. Make sure you download our Link podcast channel, read some of our expert columns. We have tons of stuff going on that is important for everybody to know. And next week we will be covering sustainability. So make sure you tune in next week as well. Make sure you register for SCN Summit so we can talk about sustainability some more with industry experts on what's going on in sustainability supply chain, anything that has to do with fuel emissions. So make sure you register. And thank you, ladies, for your input as always. Always great to catch up and talk because this is the only way we get to see each other. And that's a shame. We're coming up on that 1 year mark where we've last seen each other, and it's going to be very sad. But we'll be live on Link Live that day anyway, so we'll get to see each other. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We'll see you next week, 11 a.m. Central, Link Live. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.